Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, 1983 Sieber. This is the last month, the last six starts. Okay, and Sieber's ERA is 3.18. His one-loss record is 7-14. So to match his actual record, he needs to win two. His ERA that season was 3.55. Very hard to replicate ERAs, but that's what Statis Pro Vintage, set out to do. I believe it was based on ERA. We'll see what happens. Let's go over the lineups for the San Diego Padres. Again, visiting Shea Stadium in beautiful downtown Queens, New York. A hop, skip, and a jump away from Manhattan Island. And LaGuardia Airport is just across the way, the highway, the expressway, if you will. And Bobby Brown in left field. Alan Wiggins, the first baseman. Tony Gwynn in right field. Catcher's Terry Kennedy batting cleanup. Fifth is Rupert Jones, the center fielder. Gary Templeton, the shortstop, in the sixth spot. Seventh is Luis Salazar, the third baseman, Juan Bonilla, the second baseman, and Tim Lahler again up against the Mets, facing the Mets. He faced them about a week ago, and he also went up against Tom Sieber. For the Mets, it's Mookie Wilson in center field, Huby Brooks at third base, Keith Hernandez, the first baseman, George Foster in left field, Darryl Strawberry batting fifth, and in right field, Bob Baylor, the second baseman, batting sixth. Junior Ortiz, the catcher, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Jose Oquendo, and the shortstop is Jose Oquendo, and the pitcher is Tom Terrific. Let's get started. Start pulling cards. This is a nice change of pace from the dice. All my other games are dice games. I do use fast action cards in some of them, but they aren't the driver of the game. It's usually the dice, and then the fast action cards are just a side, offer basically a side effect of my other game. So this is a nice change of pace. This is driven by the cards, and I really like that about this game. Plus, all the charts are right in front of you on this really nice quality game board. And let's start it up. It's Tom Sieber versus Bobby Brown, and that's a 7. That'll be off Brown. 63 will be an out. SN is bounced to short and fielded cleanly by Oquendo for the first out. All right, Alan Wiggins, a 3. That's off Sieber, and a 58. SN bounced to third, and Huby Brooks fires a strike to first baseman Hernandez, 2 down. Next one is a pitcher batter number 8. That'll be off Gwynn, and a 14 line base hit to left field. So Gwynn goes the opposite field, Oppo, with a single, and we'll check on an error. No error there. And Terry Kennedy, here's a pitch. That's an 8. That's off Kennedy, and that's a 48. Will be a strikeout to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the first inning. Padres 0, and the Mets coming to bat. Mookie Wilson leading off against Tim Lahler, lefty. And he is a 2-6, just like Sieber, and that'll be off Lahler, a 44, ball 4. So Mookie walks. Will he steal? He'll try. There he goes, 52. 52 says runner out stealing, 2-4. Ouch. They gunned down Mookie Wilson. All right. And we're going to move that 1. I forgot to do that. It's an 8. That is off Brooks. A 43 will be a strikeout. 2-away. Next is a 3. That's off Lahler. And a 13 will be a base hit. Oh, wait. Lefty on lefty. Hold on a second. No, it's a strikeout. So Keith Hernandez checks his swing to check with the third base umpire, and he is out. All right. Top of the second, Rupert Jones up against Sieber. Pitch, nothing there. 4, that's off Sieber. 78, that's an out. LP. Bounce to Hernandez, and he makes the play. 1 down. Here comes Gary Templeton, switch hitter. 3, that's off Sieber. 86. That is an out, kind of an out. Bounce to third. Oh, it may be an error on Brooks. 3-10. And Brooks is going to be third base, a 5. So that's going to be an error. What kind of an error? Let's check. It is a 1 error, so it's a 1 base error, E5. And Templeton is on at first. He will try to steal. There he goes, 45. And runner, nope. So he holds, does not steal. Luis Salazar. So 4, that's off Sieber. And a 54 will be an out. RP is a pop-up. Right side, Hernandez. He's there for the out. 2 away. Here's Juan Bonilla. A 6, that's off Sieber. And a 45 will be an RN. And that's ripped to short. Backhanded by Oquendo. Strong throw to first. That retires the side. They leave 1. The error. And let's go. Bottom of the 2nd inning. George Foster, Tim Lahler. That's an 8. That's off Foster. And a 24. That's a deep drive to left. No doubt about that one. That is out of here. George Foster connects. He did hit about 28 home runs that season. 1-0 Mets. And he loses 2 there. All right, here's the next pitch. That's off Strawberry, and a 78 will be an out. LP is ripped to third, backhanded by Salazar. Strong throw to third and to first, and gets his man, Bob Baylor. 10, that's off Baylor, and a 77, that's an out. Little number in front of the plate. Catcher pounces on, he better hurry, and he gets Baylor by half a step. 2 down. And here comes Junior Ortiz, the pitch. That is off Ortiz. And that's a 14 base hit. And he's been getting hits lately. Bob Baylor, Ortiz. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so that would be, wait a second. All right, it's Baylor, and now it's Ortiz, and then it's Oquendo. Had it mixed up a little bit, I think. So it was Strawberry, Baylor. Oh, no. Strawberry, Baylor, Ortiz, who gets a hit now. And we'll check for the error. No error. So he's on at first with 2 outs, and it's Oquendo. He loses 1. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's off Lahler. And a 47 is potentially a wild pitch. And nope. Do it again. A 10. That's off Oquendo. And a 54 will be an out. RN popped up. Right side, first baseman Wiggins. So 1 run on 2 hits, and the Mets lead at 1-0. We go to the top of the 3rd. So this game plays pretty fast once you get the rhythm a little bit. Tim Lahler leading it off. All right, here's the pitch from Sieber. That's a 12. That's off Lahler, and a 25 will be a drive in the gap. And that's going to split the outfield and roll to the wall, digging for second. It is Lahler, and he's in there with a double. We check for the error. No error. 1 down on Sieber. He loses 1 reduction point. All right, and next up is Bobby Brown. Pitch. That's off Sieber's card. A 67 is an out. SN will be a line drive and right back at Sieber, and he snags it. All right, so 1 down. And here's Wiggins. Pitch show. That's a BD. He's a 0, and a 62 will be pull another card. We'll do that. An 11. That's off Wiggins, and a 57 will be an out. SN fly ball to right. Lahler will hold. 2 out. Sieber. That's off Sieber. 88, and Gwynn is a lefty. That's a base hit, and the runner will. He's in second, so it's got to be runner will advance to stop at third. They hold him at third base. So now it's Terry Kennedy with first and third. And we'll even check for the error on that. I always miss it. Forget anyway. Terry Kennedy with first and third and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. The Mets are up 1-0 here. Sieber with the pitch to Kennedy. That's a 4. That's off Sieber. And a 38 will be a potential wild pitch. No wild pitch. We'll pull it again. A BD, that's trouble. That's a 0. And a 68 will be again no result. So again, that's a 9. That's off Kennedy. And a 31 is a drive. And that's the right field over the right fielder's head. 1 run scores. Going to try to score Gwynn. We'll see. Well, let's check the error. No error. Now let's try to score Gwynn. And he scores. So 2-1 on a 2-run, 2-out double by Kennedy. Drives in number 9 and number 3. So a couple RBIs for Kennedy here in the top of the third inning, and it's Rupert Jones. Here's the pitch. Oh, and 1, 2, 3. Missed 3 there. 2 runs scored with the hit. That's a 7. That's off Rupert Jones. 81 will be an out. LP bounced to second, and I think it's Giles over there. No, it's Baylor. He makes the play to end the inning. So 2 runs come in on 1, 2, 3 hits, and the Padres lead it 2-1. Tom Terrific leading off the inning for the Mets. That's an 8. That's off Terrific, and a 17 is a drive, and that's down the line, and that's going to be a triple for in standing with a triple. That's, I think, his third triple. I think his numbers for triples are a little bit too high, 14-17, because he had one or two triples that season. He had 1 or 2 triples that season. Let me take a quick look at what he did batting that season. All right, let me back up. Let me go to the bottom here. Look at the batting logs. All right, let's go to 83. Sieber's bat. Oh, was that? No, it's batting logs. All right. Well, I didn't even have to go there. I didn't even have to go there, but that's okay. Oh, he did have 2 triples. That's why. All right, so he had 2 triples. I think in our replay he has 3. But we're almost at the end of the season. So Mookie Wilson is up, and that was on the. I didn't check for an error, so no error. Mookie Wilson. Here's the pitch from Lahler. Infield will be playing in. It's going to be an 8. That's off Wilson, and a 52 will be a hit by pitch. So Wilson gets plunked. And there he goes, 36. He's got thrown out once. And if he's an 8, he steals, and he is in there safely. So it's going to be second and third. And that's 1 loss there for Lahler. So it's second and third now, and it's Huby Brooks. And we're going to shuffle these up very quickly. All right. Huby Brooks is up. So here's the pitch. Infield will be in. And that's a 7. That will be off of Brooks. And a 37 will be a strikeout. So big pitch by Tim Lahler. Strikes out Brooks. And here's Keith Hernandez. And they're going to face the lefty. Infield in. That's a clutch defense with a third base. And the third baseman is Salazar. His clutch defense rating is a no rating, so we're going to ignore it. Going to go with the 8. The 8 is Hernandez. The 68 is an LN, and that's popped up. That's at home plate. The catcher Kennedy flips the mask away and makes the grab. And now with 2 outs and second and third, the Mets are down by 1. We're in the bottom of the third. George Foster steps in the box. Up to the plate is Foster. Lahler checks in. You know what? They're going to pitch the rookie Strawberry and walk Foster to load the bases. And they're going to make it a lefty on lefty. Oop, here's a pitch. That's a 3. That will be off Lahler, and an 87. Luckily, it's lefty on lefty. That'll be an out. What kind of an out? He's an LP, and that's a fly ball right field. And that is Gwynn right there. That ends the inning. They leave the bases loaded. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. And we move to the top of the 4th inning. So good move by the coach. Kudos to whoever that guy is. Gary Templeton. It's a pitch from Terrific. That's a 10. That's off Templeton. A 61 will be an out. SN is bounced to third. Brooks gobbles it up and throws a strike to Hernandez at first. 1 away. They retired Gary Templeton. 0 for 1 is Luis Salazar, and he's up. Here's a pitch. That's off Sieber, and an 87. Salazar is a righty versus a righty. That'll be an out. Ground ball to third. Fielded cleanly by Brooks. 2 away. And here's Juan Bonilla. He's a righty again. That's an 8. That'll be off Bonilla, and a 42 is an out. RN. There's a pop-up. Left side, third base, Brooks. So all 3 putouts made by the third baseman. No runs, no hits. 3 up, 3 down for Sieber. We're at the bottom of the 4th. Baylor, 0 for 1. Ortiz, 1 for 1. And Jose Oquendo, 0 for 1. Bottom of the 4th, the Mets trail by 1. Sieber needs to win this. All right, here's the pitch from Lahler. It's an 8. That's off Baylor, 33, and that's going to be a drive. It's going to split the outfield and roll to the wall. Baylor with good speed, big turnaround second. He's going to change his mind and dive back in with a leadoff double. And we'll check an error, and no error on that. All right, Junior Ortiz is up. Here's a pitch. That's a 3. That's off Lahler, and an 82 will be some sort of an out. RN popped up. Catcher Kennedy. And here is Oquendo. That's off Lahler again. And a 28 off Lahler. Struck him out. Big K for Lahler. And here's Terrific. That's a 5. That's off Lahler. An 11. Uh-oh, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be a base hit. And runner, it's going to be an infield hit, so the run will stop at third. First and third. And let's see something. That was a off Lahler, so there'll be no check for an error. First and third now, and here's Mookie Wilson. Wilson today is 0 for. He walked and has not been charged with an at-bat yet because he walked to lead off, was thrown out trying to steal, and then he was hit by a pitch and he stole a base. So here's the pitch to Mookie Wilson from Tim Lahler, batting, he's a switch hitter, batting righty. That's a 7. That's going to be off Wilson, and a 34 is going to be a drive, and that's going to split the outfield and roll to the wall. After it is Gwynn and right. 1 run scores, and the Mets have tied the game. They're going to try to score Sieber here with 2 outs, and it's a 74. Sieber probably will be out. First to home on a double on any outfielder. Sieber's a D, so he will be out at the plate. Ouch. That hurt. So 1 RBI, Baylor scores, and Sieber is thrown out. And that was, hold on, it was a 7 off Wilson and a 34. I never checked for the error. 5 to 10, so I got to check for the error first. It was, what did I say, a hit to right field. No, 34 is a hit to center field. So the center fielder is Rupert Jones, and let's see Jones' error rating. Center fielder, he's a T4, and it's 5 to 10, so there's no error, and it's going to be an 8. He was batting righty, so it's an 8, 6. And a 2 thrown out at the plate. Oh, wrong way. I thrown out the plate. 8-6-2. Let's fix that real quick. But the Mets tie it up on the 2-out double by Wilson, who would have been safe at third, but that's what happens. All right, got my dogs outside. Let me go grab them real quick. All right, Tim Lahler leading off the top of the 5th. It's all tied at 2. Mets just tied it on a 2-out RBI double by Mookie Wilson. That was 1 run on 3 hits. And here's Tim Lahler. Pitch from Sieber. That's a 3. That's off Sieber. And 18 is a strikeout. 1 down. The top of the order, Brown and Wiggins. Brown is 0 for 2. He grounded out and lined out. That's an 8. That'll be off Brown. And a 37 is a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Terrific. That's 1, 2, 3 on the day. Wiggins, 8. And that will be off Wiggins. And a 48 will be an out. SN is lined and caught by the third baseman, Huby Brooks, L5. 3 up and 3 down. Go to bottom of the 5th. Huby Brooks leading off. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's off Lahler. And a 15 is lined to center. Base hit, ripped. Frozen rope off the bat of Brooks, and he's on at first. And we'll check for an error. No error. Keith Hernandez. Here's a pitch. Was that to Lahler? Hold on a second. That was off who? Oh, that was off Lahler, so we don't have to check for the error. All right, Keith Hernandez is up. We're going to try a hit and run. There goes, it's an 8, so that'll be off. Actually, I just have to look at the 73. And a 73 is a hit and run of a 0. So a 73 will be fly out to left. So 1 down. And he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Okay, here's George Foster. Here's a pitch 9. That's off Foster and a 34. And that's a struck him out. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts for Lahler. Pitched from Lahler, it's a 5. That's off Lahler. And a 53 is an out. What kind of an out? LP. It's bounced to first. That's Wiggins. Fields it cleanly. No way he's a 9 or a 10 error. No way at first base. You just don't get that. First base, he's a 4. And that retires the side. We go to the top of the 6th. You get a nice little game here using this system. And it's a lot different than every other system, that's for sure. Especially, I'm playing the vintage classic cards. Here's Tony Gwynn leading it off against Sieber. Here's a pitch. That's a 7. That's off Gwynn. And an 86 will be an LN out. Popped up. Right side, first baseman Hernandez calls for it. 1 down. Terry Kennedy with a clutch defense. There's nobody on, so we'll use that 11. It'll be 65, and that's an out. LP. Bounce to short. Okendo charges it. Fires the first in time to get Kennedy. He had a lot more time than he thought with the slow-footed Kennedy running. Here's Gary, should be Rupert Jones up. Pitch from Sieber, that's off Jones, and a 45 will be ball 4. So Jones will not going to steal, He's not doing it. So Sieber loses a point, and we'll double check he has the right points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sieber starts 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 2 out, 1 on. Gary Templeton. Here's a pitch from Sieber, 4. That's off Sieber. 36. Will be potentially a wild pitch, and yes, it is. Going to second is Jones on the wild pitch. All right, Gary Templeton. Here's a pitch again. 4. That's off Siever and a 31. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks by Terrific. Back-to-back walks, and that may be it for Siever. We're going to pull him. He's gone 5 2/3. On the pitch to Salazar. Here's the pitch from Terrific. That's a BD. Oh, boy. He's a 0 BD with a 28. Is going to be, it's no action. Try it again. Another pitch. That's a 7. That's off Salazar and a 23, and that's ripped to right. Base hit. That's going to try to score a run. 1 run comes in. And the other runner is going to try to go to third, and a 55. First to third on a single to right. 2 outs. Templeton will make it to third. I have that pretty much memorized, but Sieber's losing 3-2 now, and it's going to be first. And with the throws, Salazar will go to take the extra base. So it's going to be second and third now. We're going to walk Bonilla, intentionally walk Bonilla. Sieber loses a bunch there. He a walk, then, of course, a hit, then, of course, a run. And so now it's going to be Tim Lahler against Sieber. We're going to let Sieber finish this out. Pitch, that's a 5. That's off Sieber. 84, that'll be an out. Pitcher out. Fly ball, center field. Can of corn for Mookie Wilson. But the Padres score a run on the RBI single by Salazar, scoring Rupert Jones. And the Padres lead at 3-2. 1 run on 1 hit and 3 walks. 1 of them intentional, of course. We go to the bottom of the 6th, see if the Mets can generate some offense for Terrific. They're not doing that at all. So Bob Baylor's up, and here's the pitch from Lahler. No, that's another CD. That always comes up. Let me just pop that in there. All right, that's a 7. That'll be off Baylor, and Baylor, that's going to be an out, an RN. And he shoots one to right field, and that's the first baseman. Wiggins steps on the bag ahead of Baylor. Check for the error. No error. One down. Here's Ortiz, the pitch from Lahler. That's a 7. That's off Ortiz, and that's a 68. RN. Bounce to short. Easy play for Templeton. 2 away. Did we check the error on that? I think so. Yeah, we did. All right. And here's Okendo. Here's a pitch. That's an 11. That's off Okendo. And a 45 will be an out. RN. There's a bouncer to second. Bonilla feels it cleanly and throws out Okendo. 3 up and 3 down. We go to top of the 7th. Hard to read these. 7, 8, and 9. 3-2 Padres. And Bobby Brown leading off the top. And it's time, you can see the mountain is on the right side, so it's time to shuffle these up a little bit. I can see these cards getting filthy dirty just from the handling of it, right? But somebody does sell some of these, but I think it's Big Dave 32 on eBay. I buy it from him. I don't buy it from the other guy because he's very rude. He's been rude to me. He's been rude to a bunch of guys. He accuses everybody of being a pirate, you know. And why? For what? To make $5? I mean, I have a collection of worth $10,000, and I'm going to sell some trashy PDFs that really are free to create because the system is available. So anybody that wants to sit behind, in front of a computer and just create a simple Excel program can create these cards and to sell it, and they're $10. So you pay $10 for the set, and what are you selling them for? What is the profit? I mean, so there's no real incentive to do such a thing. But to him, everybody's a pirate. So I don't buy his stuff. I don't encourage anybody else buy his stuff because he's just not a nice guy. You may think he's a nice guy, but he's a totalitarian type guy. He's like a dictator. He wants to kind of impose his will, and see how he runs his websites. Like you say one thing, and he'll immediately you'll be banned. If he doesn't agree with your opinion, you're done. Say goodbye, because you're done. You're on his bad boy list. All right, that's enough ranting about. Don't like to rant about people, but unfortunately, he's not a nice guy. All right, 7. Seventh inning, Bobby Brown leading off. Here's terrific. Here's the pitch. That's 10. That's off Brown. 66. That's an out. SN popped up. That's left side. Third baseman Brooks. 1 down. Alan Wiggins is up. That's an 8. That's off Wiggins. 67. That's an out. SN. That's ripped to short. Okendo gloves it and throws a strike to Hernandez. 2 down. Tony Gwynn, probably one of the best hitters ever, and he rips a single. That's his 3rd hit of the day. What a surprise that is. We'll check for the error. No error. All right. So Gwynn is on at first. He will not be stealing. Here's a pitch to Kennedy. A 7. That's off Kennedy. And a 41 will be a strikeout to end the inning. And that's probably it for Sieber. He goes 7 today. He's down 3-2. So if there's a loss here, it will be on his record. And we're going to see, you know what? We're going to see Kingman coming up. Dave Kong Kingman, pinch hitter, 7th inning. All right. Against Tim Lahler. And here's the pitch. That's a 10. That's off Kingman, and that's a 45. Oh, struck him out. Yikes. All right, no surprise there. 1 down. Top of the order. Wilson, 1 for 1's reached base all 3 times today. Here's a pitch from Lahler. That's a 9. That's off Wilson. And 11, that's a base hit. So Wilson will try to steal. There he goes. 48 says runner out. A second time, 2-4. Second time Wilson's been thrown out. All right. Here's Huby Brooks. 5. That's off Lahler. And a 67. That'll be an out. RN popped up. Center field. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Nobody left, actually, because he was thrown out. All right. We go to the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher. It's going to be some lefties are coming up. So we're going to bring in Jesse Orozco. It's a close game. See what happens here. All right. Rupert Jones is up. Here's a pitch from Orozco. That's off Orozco's card, a 45. No, we'll do it again. Do it again. That's a 9. That's off Orozco's card, a 25. Struck him out. Jones goes down on strikes. 1 away. Gary Templeton, an 8. That's off Orozco. 78. That's an out. SN. Fly ball to right. On the run is Strawberry. Will he get there? Yes. 2 outs. Here's Salazar. That's a 9. That's off Orozco. A 22 is balk, but there's no balk. There's nobody on. 8. That's going to be off Orozco. And a 28. Struck him out. 2 strikeouts for Orozco. No runs, no hits. Go to the bottom of the 8th. See if the Mets can muster some offense. Keith Hernandez leading off against Tim Lahler. Here's the pitch. That's a 5. That's off Lahler. An 83. That'll be an out. LN. And that's bounced to second base. Fielded cleanly by Bonilla. And he throws out Hernandez. George Foster. And Foster swings, and it's a 51. Who's that off of? I went blank. That's off Foster. 51 is an RP, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman, Salazar. And he throws out Foster. 2 down, and here's Darryl Strawberry. No, that's a CD. 3, that's off Lahler, and a 28 will be a strikeout to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down for Tim Lahler. All right, top of the 9th, Orozco. Bonilla's up. Here's a pitch. Orozco, that's going to be off Bonilla, and a 53. That's an out. RN bounce to second base. Bob Baylor fields it cleanly and throws out Bonilla for the first out. Tim Lahler now. Here's a pitch. That's a 4. That is off of Orozco, and a 54 is an out. Pitcher out. Bounce to short. Fielded cleanly by Oquendo. High throw, but nice stretch by Hernandez. And it's Bobby Brown with a 10. That's going to be off Brown and a 54. And a 54 SN cracks one high, mile high. And that's the middle of the infield. Actually, both the shortstop and second baseman converge in shallow center field. And it's the shortstop Oquendo who makes the catch to retire the side. And it's the bottom of the 9th. For the Mets. The Mets, remember, they trail 3-2. So Sieber's on the verge of losing his 15th game. He only lost 14 that season, but that's inconsequential. You cannot control that at all. That has so many factors. All right. Bob Baylor's up. Here's the pitch from Tim Lahler. That's an 8. That's off Baylor, and a 31, and that's a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfield and roll to the wall. Digging for second is Baylor. Here's the throw, and no error, and he is in there with a lead-off double, Bob Baylor. And we're going to, who do we have? We're going to bring in Bradley to pinch hit for Ortiz is 1 for 3, and he's been hitting well. So let's allow Ortiz to bat, or we can bunt with Ortiz. What kind of bunter is he? It's an okay bunter. He's going to square. And a 43 is a CC 43, and that is a good bunt. It's going to be third to first. So it's going to be sack, 5-3, and the tying run is at third base now on the sacrifice. So Ortiz sacrifices him over, and here we have Oquendo and Sieber. And let me take a quick peek at the roster. I'm using on the computer. I have 2 computers, one that I'm filming on and one on my left. And if you go to Baseball University Facebook group, you will see Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. And you'll see my setup. I generally share it All right, hold on a second. Just let me check the roster, make sure that I have the guys I'm going to be using. They didn't get injured or anything. So I try to stick to the actual lineups to see if I can win with the actual lineups. All right, so this is at Shea Stadium. And we're in September, so I got a lot of players. I got a ton of players. All right. But, of course, all these players are not on. I don't have cards for all these players. But I'm going to bring in a guy named Giles. Should I bring in Giles? Yeah, he's a contact guy. I'm going to bring in Giles. Brian Giles. He's going to pinch hit. You know what? Okendo's also a contact guy, right? Oh, no. Okendo strikes out a ton, and so does this monkey. Hold on a second. Let me see if I find somebody that doesn't strike out that much. Give me a second. Mark Bradley. Oh, my God. He strikes out a ton. Tucker Ashford. Doesn't strike out at all. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to call Tucker Ashford to make some contact. All right. So Ashford will come in, pinch hit, and then he will not play short. Probably will get Baylor to play short. And then Ashford will stay in playing second. All right, see what happens. The infield is going to be in here. Tying run is at third base. Tucker Ashford, a contact hitter. And here's the pitch from Tim Lahler. 6, so that's going to be off Lahler. And a 75 is going to be some sort of an out. RN is a bouncer to second base with the infield in. We're going to check for an error. No error. So let's see what happens with the infield in and runner on third, a G4, and that's infield in. Consult defensive option play. Oh, this is going to be exciting. All right, defensive option play is right here. So the guy on base, Baylor, should be pretty fast. Baylor is an A. All right, so an A says he'll be safe. We're going to try to score him. There's going to be a play at the plate. So the ball's hit the second base, and we're sending Baylor on contact. So we're going to pull a card. 11-48, he is safe, and the game is tied. 51-88, he is out. And he is 42. He is safe at the plate, the game, and that's a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice. And Ashford is on safely. Scoring is Baylor. Ashford picks up an RBI. And the Mets have tied this game at 3-3. Wow, that was exciting. All right, and Orozco's going to be pinch hit for here with a runner on first. And we're going to bring in, who are we going to bring in? Bring in Bradley. Oh, put him in the wrong spot. A guy named Mark Bradley played with the Mets in '83. He's got a little bit of power and not too bad. All right, so Mark Bradley comes in, and then we'll probably bring in Sisk to pitch. Or you know what? We'll bring in who's batting. Gwynn is going to come up, so we're going to bring in the lefty Carlos Diaz. All right. So it's all tied at 3, thanks to a ground ball by Tucker Ashford. Pinch hitter Tucker Ashford, and here's Bradley pinch hitting in the 9th. Again, and Tim Lahler still in the game. We still haven't pulled Lahler. And here's the pitch. Well, actually, 1 run comes in on the, yep. So he's still good. Let me count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he's then 14. So he started here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. And it's and Mark Bradley, you know what? I'm going to bring in a right-hander. To pitch, and that's going to be a guy named Sosa, Elias Sosa. I don't know if it's Elias Sosa. Let me see. DeLeon. I could bring in DeLeon. That's the name of my director. All right. Elias Sosa is coming in to pitch. And Elias Sosa is going to be a 10. All right, I'll face Bradley, and we're going to call Bradley back, and we're going to bring in Stobb. Rusty Stobb is going to pinch hit. So there's a lot of managing, a lot of chess playing here. I want to play the 84. I want to play the 84 San Diego Padres. That'll be fun to do. All right, so it's going to be Rusty Stobb against Elias Sosa. And here's the pitch. That's a BD. Oh, and he's a 0. We need a low number, and a 16 is going to do it. A 16 is going to be a double to right center, and scoring the winning run is Tucker Ashford, and the Mets pull it out on a Rusty Stobb RBI double in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mets win it by a score of 4-3. Yikes, Rusty is mobbed by his teammates. What a job managing. That really made the difference ultimately. All the changes and made a big difference both for the Padres and also for the Mets. And that was it, because we actually rolled clutch. We pulled clutch batting, and that was it. Clutch batting. And then when we pulled that low number, that was it. You couldn't do anything about it. It didn't matter who was pitching. That wouldn't have mattered. But the Mets win it, and it's Rusty Stobb who drives in the winning run, and everybody's going to go to his like Ron Orange's restaurant to have a nice dinner after this game. He'll keep it open for the VIPs, the Mets team. And Rusty drives in a run, the winning run. Tucker Ashford all the way from first base. And the Mets pull it out. So I'll be right back with some data for you. All right, guys. Let's see what we're doing here. Final score, 4-3. Basically, the second baseman Baylor hit 2 doubles for New York. And big rally in dramatic style for the Mets in this one, right? New York came through with the game-winning runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 runs on 2 base hits. Baylor led off the inning with a double, and Junior Ortiz laid down a sac bunt, moving him over to third. Tucker Ashford then came to hit, and he grounded out into a fielder's choice, which plated the run. And then Rusty Stobb was called to hit, and he sent the hometown fans into a frenzy with a game-winning double. And Jesse Orozco got the win. He's 2-5. He went 2 innings, allowing no runs for the victory. Tim Lahler, 5-15, was charged with the loss. And Frank Howard, the Mets manager at this point, was happy as heck after the game, and he said, "It's great to win a hard-fought game like that. Our guys just weren't going to be denied, you know." So. The fans did go wild. It was a great game, and if you watched it, you enjoyed it. If you heard it, you enjoyed it for sure. Sieber did not get a decision. Next, he faces the Montreal Expos in Montreal, and I will be playing that game probably later tonight. Siever's ERA crept up just a little bit. 3.21. He's still holding fast at 7-14. He was 9-14 in '83, and he ended the season with a 3.55 ERA. So we're pretty close. See what happens in the next Sieber start. It'll be his second one of September. He had 5 starts in September, I believe, 5 or 6. 5 starts in September and 1 in October. So he has 5 starts left after this game, and then of course he'll be pitching against Montreal. The Expos have a heck of a team, and we'll see what happens there. So this is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and we played a little Statis Pro baseball using cards only. It plays pretty quick once you get the rhythm, and I do make a little error here and there, small, but they're pretty minute. I try to limit those and correct myself as much as possible, make it fair for both teams. Final score of this one was the Mets 4. They win it in the bottom of the ninth, and the Padres 3. The Mets had 4 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. The Padres had 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. And remember to like and subscribe to my channel as well. Helps me beat the algorithm. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.